Hey guys, it's History Behind the Warrior, and welcome back to another God of War Ragnarok video. Now today, once again, courtesy of Game Informer, we've had yet another preview of God of War Ragnarok, this time discussing the level design of the home of the dwarves, Svartalfheim, or as referred to in-game, Nidavellir. A quick heads up here that the contents of this video they dropped today was all about level design itself, so we will not be focusing on gameplay during this breakdown video, but I still do wish to point out that there's a fair bit of information that somewhat surrounds what exactly is going on with the realm of Nidavellir and how Fimbulwinter has affected it. So yes, unfortunately, it seems like they are still holding their cards close to their chest, as they are not saying too much about the main story, and they are still yet to announce a state of play. So sorry if things feel a little bit bare here, but rest assured, there's still interesting things to pick up on, because a lot of thought has really gone into the level design here, in how it tells a story, and how the terrain itself is tied to that of gameplay. Now, if you do wish to watch this walkthrough without my commentary, I will have a link for it down in the description below, as well as the Game Informer article that goes in depth about the gameplay design and philosophy behind God of War Ragnarok's combat design. Along with that, I will link a video, also by Game Informer, that is effectively an exhibition of the article I just mentioned. And finally, to cap that off, I have done two in-depth breakdowns of the article and the gameplay video itself, so if you want an in-depth look on that, please do check out my last two videos, as it will give you some insight and information that was not mentioned in the Game Informer article. But before we do begin guys, as always, I would super appreciate it if we could first get this video to about 500 likes. It's a great way of supporting not only this video, but this channel out as a whole. It's a very small thing, but trust me, it goes a very long way. So, without any further ado, let's get on to breaking down the contents of our first look of Svartalfheim. Now, immediately, one of the big things that sets the tone for Ragnarok is what Fimbulwinter has caused across the 9 realms. What does hint at this is a very small bit of exposition between Atreus and Mimir, where Atreus remarks how the dawn of Ragnarok is affecting Svartalfheim, having it so its lands quiver from earthquakes and sudden eruptions of geysers. So it does seem like each of the realms are affected by Fimbulwinter in a different way, as we do know that in the realm of Midgard, the Lake of the Nine is currently frozen over, showing you all just how cold the world of man has become. This actually might be a side effect of the World Tree, realizing that the Ragnarok cycle is once again upon it. So it is a minor but very interesting detail for how the event of Fimbulwinter ripples throughout the 9 realms. Now, shortly following this very brief exposition dump, we then next get our first look at a dwarven village, referred to by Mimir as Nidavellir. Now, what really grabs my attention here is how Nidavellir is located in Svartalfheim. Now, if you're familiar with Norse mythology, you'll know that Svartalfheim and Nidavellir are one and the same, simply given 2 different names. So Mimir referring to this small village as Nidavellir could imply that it may be a capital city of sorts for the home of the dwarves, as we do see their huts scattered across the hills, something that is aesthetically very, very different from the rest of the terrain of Svartalfheim, as we will clearly see. Our next shot here is what seems to be a deserted and decrepit dwarven dig site, clearly abandoned after, I believe, the realm of Svartalfheim started to quake due to the oncoming apocalypse. And it does also raise the question of how exactly does this affect the realm of Svartalfheim, as the dwarves are known to be legendary blacksmiths. But with mining now stopped, and their dig sites clearly terrorized by that of the Grimms, it does raise many questions of how has it exactly affected it, and its relationship with other realms. Now, outside of setting the tone and atmosphere, as we can clearly see, Odin's Ravens has returned, so something you hardcore completionists definitely want to keep an eye out for. Now, this might be a minor thing, but if we look on the right hand side here, we do see a wooden arch that is covered in blue paint. Now, I'm not entirely too sure what this could be, and it simply could be nothing, but seeing as the 2018 game and this game use color to somewhat indicate points of interest, I believe the arch here may be a post that is pointing the player in a particular direction, or something you can later abseil to if you are able to connect a bit of rope to it. Again, this could be nothing, but considering how we used to slide down rope in the previous game, this may indicate faster ways to traverse the realm of Svartalfheim, as we do know it's going to be rather large. Now, our next shot here is a pretty damn important one, and that is where Kratos throws his axe at a rising geyser, freezing the water in place and allowing him to work around this obstacle. Yes, this may seem like quite a minor thing, as it does add to the somewhat puzzle aspect of the game, but really, I feel like it helps make the world feel that much more alive, adding new ways to cover the treacherous wastelands of Svartalfheim. Plus, if we are going to look at it from a gameplay perspective, this could be a way to cut off enemies if you do feel overwhelmed, freezing the terrain in front of you, and then calling back the axe if an enemy is leaping across. That is simply an idea on my end, but something I can see them doing, as let's remember, the gameplay philosophy is play with your food. Now onto our next shot here, we are able to see an interesting contraption of sorts that is designed to contain geysers and use them to interact with the terrain, as we see that once Kratos opens it with the Blades of Chaos, the geyser itself is able to interact with the wheel contraption above it and lower the bridge on the far right side of the frame. A little bit of dwarven engineering according to Mimir. Now once again, this is another great display of how the environment is able to interact with each other and open up the arena and map of Svartalfheim. So I am interested how these mechanics function in different areas, as I imagine you could probably freeze this geyser with the axe now that it is open and gain access to the left side of the map. Now following this, we get yet another shot of Nidavellir, and we actually see some dwarves running around, implying the possibility that there might be some NPCs, but again, it really gives us a good visual shot of how the dwarves have settled down in the realm of Svartalfheim, how they live in these tiny little huts, opposed to that of complex buildings, or even anything we've actually seen in God of War, as most things are dead in Midgard, and we have seen that the Dark Elves live in hives on the ground. Now, our last and final shot here is of Kratos and Atreus up in what I believe to be the mountains of Svartalfheim, as the ground is stone and not bare like the wastelands we saw earlier, and there actually seems to be a dwarven face carved into a mountain, something we actually first saw in the Jotnar cloth mat. Now, for what significance this could have, I simply don't know, but considering the design and effort that went into sculpting this cliffside, I suspect this will most certainly be a point of interest for probably finding a MacGuffin in Svartalfheim. Now, unfortunately, this actually covers everything regarding the level design of Svartalfheim. I am really impressed with what they have shown so far. Like I said earlier, I'm very happy about the gameplay philosophy behind God of War Ragnarok, as I feel like expanding on the previous existing formula does nothing but strengthen an already solid system. So I'm very eager to get my hands on it. And along with this, the new levels of verticality and complexity added to that of the level design really encourages players to dive deep into exploration. I'm a sucker for level designs. I love exploring and getting lost in the terrain. So it pretty much goes without saying, I'm very excited to enter the realm of Svartalfheim and see the secrets that have been hidden away. My only real question at the moment is when we will have a state of play, because whilst I am happy that Game Informer has been able to give us some information, we are still chewing away at breadcrumbs. And yes, I'm very happy that promotion is starting to pick up, but the information we're getting is few and far between. So hopefully we will learn more sooner rather than later. Now, down in the comments below, please let me know, what do you currently think about Ragnarok? Do you like what's going on with the level design? What about the new combat? Please do comment down below, as I'd love to hear what you all have to say. And as always, please don't forget to like and subscribe to stay up to date with everything God of War related. But for now everyone, this has been it for me. So as always, stay strong, stay well, and keep on fighting as Ragnarok comes for us all. Take care everyone, I'll see you soon.